So this is just a little tutorial on going about making a skirt around. So we've already got the flat patterns plasma cut, and one thing to note is what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting our seam right here and here. So right here in this corner, if you can picture this, we're going to cut a little relief in here about 1 inch long, and I've laid our segments out just using something that's like 1 inch. Like if you wanted a smoother transition, you can go smoother. So I just kind of mark evenly spaced there. I go from this end here, 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 okay, and then I came back from here, and then the center is where it ended up. One thing too I've done is I've set this, with it being 1 inch here and here, I've set this angle, and this is what we're going to use kind of roughly to start. So I'm just going to relief cut this with a bandsaw because this generally wouldn't bend 90 if we didn't do that. So you can see right here I've cut all of these about 1 inch up. This is just generally for thicker things like above 10 gauge. You know what, maybe 14 gauge, it wouldn't hurt doing that because you just fill that with weld. But it helps give you a nice corner going into a corner. You can see from here to there, we're going to work our way down. And this is, even though it's 1/4 inch, I don't have a 2 inch die in here because we're not bending at 90. That's not super critical for the bending width. But what I want to make sure is that when we go and bend this point, this where it's already bent isn't sitting inside the die because it'll kind of mess it up. So, this is kind of the tricky part, so we'll have to double check the radius. So that's pretty good. So we're gonna have to fight with this a little bit because this isn't quite 90 down here. Pretty much where we're at. So you can see when you look down here, this isn't quite 90. So what we're going to do is we've taken out the top dies and we put in the sacrificial die where it's not hardened and ground. And I'm just going to bend the beginning here because this is the right radius. Just here we got to get this a little bit closer to 90. So now you can see when we're gonna kind of tack this together, and I'll show you. So you see how this isn't quite lined up? What we're gonna do is we're gonna hit it with a hammer to try to get it all square. We'll tack this up and then we'll see where it all fits. So this is a squared around, it's all done here. This one we had to put a liner in it, but so you can see it came out all right. I just welded these up, and the biggest thing is just tacking it and smacking it around. So that's the squared around.